Ravens rookie minicamp is in the books. Let's dive into some highlights and updates from today. We're talking some LaJohntay Wester, Teddye Buchanan, Tyler Loop, Mike Green. Let's dive into it.
Ravens flock rundown is the place to be.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame the untamed.
What's up, Ravens fans? My name is Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of the Flock Rundown. Before we get into today's episode, I told you guys a couple videos ago that I started the channel memberships, and don't feel obligated by any means to do that, by the way. It's just an extra way to support. I'm diving in full time to this channel and working my face off to bring you guys as much content as possible, and people have been asking different ways to support, so I turned on the channel memberships and created like icons from Malachi Starks all the way to Ray Lewis, just depending on how long you're a member and whatnot, and it comes up on all the comments and in the live chats. But I wanted to shout out the first member of the channel, Ryan D. I appreciate you, man, more than you know. I see that Malachi Starks image next to your name, and I'm going to start going live in the evenings a lot more. Starting tomorrow around 7 Eastern, I'm going live with Coach Evans from Sip to Tally, so I hope to see a lot of you guys in there. Let's chop it up. But with all that out the way, let's dive into today's updates. Minicamp is officially over. The Ravens did a lot of photos. They took their team photo today. I'm pumped about this rookie class. I cannot wait to see the rookies now go to regular minicamp and mix in with the veterans. That's going to be exciting. That's what's next up. But one guy that's been standing out at rookie minicamp is LaJohntay Wester. They got him fielding punts, working one-on-one with him in punt return. I expect that he's going to be the Ravens starting punt returner. He's also standing out in the wide receiver drills. I mean, this guy is explosive. His acceleration reminds me of Zay Flowers, and I know he's got different expectations, especially as a receiver. Zay Flowers a first-round pick. LaJohntay Wester's a sixth-round pick. I am not putting that type of pressure on him right now, but I'm just saying he reminds you of Zay, man. This guy has great start-stop ability. He looks clean running routes. I think he can be a weapon for us in the pass game. I'm sure as a receiver, his role is going to expand, but I expect day one him to come in and add some juice as a punt returner. And Ryan Mink spoke with him at minicamp yesterday and wrote about it today in an article that he put out, and they were talking about all his big plays at Colorado. And LaJohntay Wester said, at the end of the day, in my eyes, it was just me making a play. To other people, it was a clutch play, and they probably would never imagine a guy like me, a small guy, to be able to make a big-time play like that. But to me, it's nothing new. I'm very confident in my game. And then he talked about his game overall as a wide receiver and a punt returner. He says, I took the same seriousness as I take receiving. In Little League, I always had the quickness, the moves. I just got bigger, stronger, faster, more confident. Now I'm putting it all together for the big-time league. This is one of my favorite picks from this year's draft class. I am excited to see LaJohntay Wester add some juice to this punt return game, and as a receiver, I can't wait to see him ball out in a Ravens uniform this year. In other news, we saw John Harbaugh working extremely close one-on-one with Tyler Loop today, and now we know that Justin Tucker is not on the Baltimore Ravens anymore. Just dropped a video about that. So Tyler Loop's the new kicker. You know, unless they bring in a veteran or other competition, the Ravens didn't draft their first kicker ever for no reason, and Tyler Loop is going to be the new kicker of the Baltimore Ravens. I just talked about it in the Tucker video, but we should probably lower our expectations. I don't think Tyler Loop's going to come in and be the greatest kicker of all time or one of the greatest kickers of all time, but hopefully he can just keep getting better and hopefully be consistent this year. We know he's got a huge leg. I think he can provide, you know, what the Ravens need at the kicking position, but is he going to be Justin Tucker? I'm not confident in saying that. I don't think anybody's Justin Tucker, so it's a shame the way it all ended, but we got to move on. Tyler Loop's definitely going to be the new guy. A lot of reporters have also been raving about Mike Green's explosiveness off the line. Ryan Mink and Clifton Brown yesterday were talking about how athletic Mike Green is. They think that he's going to be dominant, and I agree, man. I could not be more excited. I think, you know, I'm excited about Malachi Starks. I'm excited about LaJohntay Wester and Peebles and this entire class, to be honest with you. But if I had to pick one pick that I am most excited for this season, it's Mike Green. We've never had this talented of a pass rusher since Terrell Suggs. So to have that kind of talent at edge. You know, I don't know if he's going to make day one impact. I'm expecting him to, honestly, but I think pretty quickly within a few weeks of the regular season, we're going to see a Mike Green sack. We're going to see some plays made from him. You heard him talk yesterday about how he's got a chip on his shoulder. He's trying to prove every single team wrong. I think he's going to roll in with an enormous amount of confidence, and he's already got all the athletic ability in the world. Mike Green's going to be a staple part of this Ravens defense for years to come. Another interesting pick from the Ravens that has a ton of athleticism is Teddye Buchanan. I've seen some Ravens fans say that he's going to be starting next to Roquan. I still got Trenton Simpson starting next to Roquan. I think he does take that leap. I think he learns from last year because let's not forget, Trenton Simpson's got a ton of athletic ability himself, man. I think he's going to be an explosive player. I'm not writing Trenton Simpson off at all. I think last year was some growing pains that he needed to go through, and he's going to be better for it this year. But that doesn't mean that Teddye Buchanan is not going to add some depth there. I think he's going to push Trenton. I think in certain packages, Teddye could even come in and add some coverage ability because he is a good coverage linebacker. I think that's what he's going to help with the most. And it's weird seeing Teddye in 40 and being a fast cover linebacker, and then the person who had 40 before was Malik Harrison. I love Malik Harrison, but he is not known for his coverage ability. You know what I mean? So we're going to have to, rewire our brains to look at a 40 out there and not think that he can't cover, because Teddye can cover. I know Malik struggled with that, but I think this number 40 can cover. So we'll see if he pushes Trenton Simpson for the job. But right now, my expectations are special teams player, along with Jake Hummels, too. I think he's a special teams ace. That's what they signed him for. So they're going to be linebacker depth. And I wouldn't be against adding a veteran linebacker into the room. I think we could use a little bit more experience there if Trenton Simpson doesn't work out or if there's any injuries, because last year when Trenton was struggling a little bit, we had some experience in Chris Board and Malik Harrison who have been around. They've been on the Ravens for years. They kind of understood the defense and were able to fill in and play their assignments really well. I don't know if the rookies and a new Jake Hummel is going to be able to pick up that slack. So we're kind of riding on Trenton Simpson to work out here. If he doesn't, we're going to be thin, So I wouldn't be against adding a vet to that room, but I do like what I'm seeing from Teddye Buchanan. I love his athleticism. I think that he's going to shine on special teams, and we're going to see more and more of him at linebacker. Last thing I wanted to talk about is the quarterback situation. They had Devin Leary running quarterback at rookie minicamp, and he's going to be the emergency quarterback, most likely. I don't think we're carrying 3 quarterbacks, so he's going to be the Ravens' emergency quarterback. And then obviously Lamar and Cooper Rush that we signed this year will be the starting active quarterbacks. And I don't know if you saw Lamar's tweet today. I'm sure you did. I saw some other Ravens channels talking about it. But he quote tweeted a Warren Sharp tweet about his stats last year, about how good of a year Lamar had last year. And we know Lamar had an absolutely dominant year last year. Should have won his 3rd MVP. But it is what it is. But Lamar says all for nothing, ? All caps. Let's turn it up a notch. 25, 26, patiently waiting. If Lamar turns it up a notch from last year, this might be the greatest quarterback play we're ever about to witness. I mean, let's be real. He had 41 touchdown passes, 4 interceptions last year, 45 total touchdowns, top 5 QBR in the history of football. It was one of the greatest quarterback seasons ever. And it's unfortunate he didn't win the MVP, but he got first team All-Pro, so they know who the best quarterback was. But I can't even wrap my head around Lamar being better than he was last year, but he's so young in his career still and getting better year after year, especially in the pass game, that I really think he can take it up a notch. His mind's getting sharper, and bringing in a Todd Monken a few years ago really elevated Lamar's game too. It elevated this entire offense just from a schematic, creativity in the pass game standpoint. I do think Lamar's got another notch, which is crazy to say, and I cannot wait to see it play out this year. But that's it for today, guys. Let me know what you're thinking about everything. What'd you think about rookie minicamp? What are you thinking about all the rookies? Let me know. Appreciate you, as always, for tuning in to another episode of the Flock Rundown. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll let the greatest linebacker in the history of the game take us out.
Ravens Flock. Flock Rundown is the place to be. My man Ryan has been a lifelong Ravens fan since he was born. The Flock Rundown. Nothing gets better than waking up and wondering how high we can fly. Tune in.
Motionless brainwaves attempt to swim their way to sense, can't tame